Hi, I am an online respondent, and to be very honest, I stopped caring.
Stop caring, but why?
Yes, because your surveys does not listen to me anymore. There was a time when a person used to come to my home asking me, और बेटा कैसे हो और सर कैसे हो कौन सा टूथपेस्ट यूज़ करते हो ये नया मार्केट में आया यूज़ करोगे या नहीं I felt there was a connect between me and the interviewer, and my opinions mattered. But now, you are sending me the surveys, and without any intent and motivation, I am completing those surveys just for the incentive. And the funny part is, every survey looks like the same. कभी कभी तो ऐसा लगता है कि मुझे पता होता है अगला क्वेश्चन आने क्या वाला है. तो I am just doing that.
I hear you, and I agree that today, with the chase of speed, scale, and cost efficiency, we forget about the experience. The open ends have now reduced to a few careless words, and even the drop-offs happen before we even ask the new complex questions. And for the complex questions like conjoint and maxdiff, we feel like you feel like lost with no one to help. And
Right, and the worst part is that I want to share my opinion how you can make your surveys better, but the problem is your survey stopped listening.
that's why we are here today to change the story, to bring back the connection, warmth, and guidance, and to show you and every respondent that survey can listen again. More to for us.
Okay, so what we are going to talk about today is not just a gimmick, but a structural change. We call it the experience layer of the surveys. Imagine we have a infrastructure of a CAVI, the online surveys, with links, lists, logics, complex questions, etc., as the backbone. And on top of it, we have a new layer, which is responsive, a conversational, and empathetic layer, which tries to give the experience to the respondents, which is very much beneficial for them, which is guided. For this experience, it is not just about a one tool. We are talking about a team of 4 specialized AI agents. Together, they are working and focused on different parts of the survey workflows. Together, basically, they are working differently in different conditions, in different survey workflows, and they are guiding the respondents in different ways. Our first AI avatar, our first AI agent is the AI avatar, which is basically introducing the survey to the respondents. And not only it is introducing the survey to the respondents, it is also building a rapport and tone with the respondent. And later on in the exercise, it is also, later on it is also giving the respondent a guidance in the complex exercises by being present on the information exploration screens.
Food meal. You'll see a few combo meals.
Now our next AI agent is the interactive chatbot, which is present in different parts of the surveys. On this, a respondent can ask different types of questions, like what is the meaning of A stub, what is the difference between X and Y, and instead of guessing and dropping off due to confusion, a respondent is guided well throughout the survey. Our third AI agent is the probing agent, which is generating the probes or follow-up questions on runtime based on the respondent's answers in the open-ended questions. For example, here you can see a cheeseburger and medium fries and a milkshake is the ideal meal for a respondent, but he hasn't answered about why. Hence, a probe is generated accordingly. Our third AI agent is the the contextual guide, which is guiding the respondents in complex exercises like MBC that we have in our research. Just like a restaurant customer staff, which tries to upsell their items or give or suggest combos to the customers. This agent is also providing help to the respondents by helping them navigate the complex choices in the MBC tasks. It is providing clarity between bundles and trade-offs so that their confusion can be turned into confident selections. Now, the theory only matters if the evidence holds. What happened when the survey actually listened? Let's hear from Rashmi.
Thanks, Faraz. So replacing the big wall of text that we have for instructions, our AI avatar appeared at two places during the survey. The first during the introduction screen, where we noticed a drop in the early drop-offs by 23%, which indicates better engagement, of course. And second, during the information acceleration screen that appeared before the MBC exercise, where again we saw that the respondents spent more time on this screen, which means they were listening, they were understanding better, and they were more aligned with the survey objectives. For the chatbot, the interaction noticed with the respondents was not a lot. Only 12% of the respondents chose to interact with it, and most of the interaction was around task interpretation, clarification of terms like burrata cheese, artichokes, since they're not very regularly used amongst the consumers, and also some seek reassurance since we are dealing with AI here. This one's my favorite. When the probing agent stepped in, we saw that the respondent didn't just give us more words, they gave us better answers, wherein the average time they spent on the open-end response increased from 13 seconds to 32 seconds. The one-word responses vanished because the minimum of two questions were asked from the respondents. And the long, detailed answers went up to 64%. And of course, you can see that the quality of data also improved, where the relevance score almost doubled and the completeness score more than doubled. With contextual agent, we wanted to understand if the respondents appreciated the guidance and if with respect to the data, if it was helpful. As you can see, 64% of the respondents accepted the upsell when it was offered, which led to an increase in the cart value also, which is actually the consumer behavior that we notice across the counter also when we go to a quick service restaurant. In fact, the time spent on MBC task also increased, which means respondents were not just clicking through randomly, they were making more considered choices, more informed choices. This is one more thing that we wanted to know from the respondents, if they liked our AI agents in the survey, that given that this was a new approach we were testing, and the answer is a big yes for this. The overall experience ratings increased, and so did the ease of understanding with respect to survey. Also, with respect to usefulness of AI agents, respondents found the AI avatar most useful, followed by the contextual guide and the probing agent. Chatbot, though it was not used a lot, but still it guided people, respondents, when they needed. We noticed a considerable shift in the overall engagement as well, wherein people stayed in for longer, and for a change, it was not because of inefficiency, it was because they were more engaged. The completion rate shot up, the engagement scores were high, and the outliers reduced. And the biggest compliment for these AI agents was the increased rating of the future participation intent in these surveys. On the whole, if we say the AI agents changed the respondents' behavior, it moved the respondents' behavior, the respondents felt welcomed, they understood the task better, they were able to make clearer decisions, and of course, we as researchers, we got richer answers. In short, if we say there was a substantial shift in the survey experience that we saw from being transactional to being conversational, and that is the shift that leads to better data, because when the respondent feels that we are hearing them, we are understanding them, and they are connected, they talk more honestly. On the final note, surveys have lived in the world of ors for way too long. Quality or cost, scale or trust. But through this research, our AI agents proved that actual power really lies in coexistence. We can have technology and empathy. We can have engagement and efficiency. And most importantly, we can have humans and AI standing together, working towards making surveys more faster, sharper, and more human. And the best part about this is that they are not competing with us, they are partnering with us, and that is the power of AND. Thank you so much for listening to us.
We'll move to the Q&A. Thank you very much. So one question that's coming up a lot is, attention spans are fast reducing, and we know our LOI is notoriously long. With these inputs that you have, the agent, the probing, everything, is the length of interview increasing?
Right. So I think that's a fair observation from the audience. When we introduce such agents, it will definitely improve or increase the length of interview. But the thing that we have to notice is that these agents, we should not recommend having on all the screens. As you can see that these are some specialized agents are made of for specific task only. Like for avatars, we would say that whenever you have a concept test or you have a advanced conjoint exercises like menu-based conjoint where you have to educate the respondents. So I think in that case, you can just use the agents at the right place with a minimal use and optimal use so that you can take the leverage of these agents without impacting the LOI so much. But the answer is yes, when you do the probing respondent, like you are probing respondent for 2 or 3 times to complete the open-end responses and you are showing a video which is coming after, like they are spending like 30 seconds to educate the respondents. So you will see a shift in length of interview and respondent might ask more incentive for that.
Okay, great. Next question. How do you customize for a diverse market like India, where you have different cohorts, you have metros, and down the tier, you have vernacular languages? How do you deal with that?
Sure. So, like when we have to deal with these agents, we have to understand that these agents can be customizable in terms of changing the translations. The avatars are available in different genders and they can speak different languages. And with respect to the probing, we have tested on multiple languages where if respondent is answering in multiple languages, it can understand that and it can give you the results as well. So it is completely customizable. So all the agents you can do with multiple languages on the different geographies.
Okay. Last question. There are certain biases that AI brings with it. So have you noticed the impact? Have you seen any biases, or should we be worried about biases creeping in when an AI and an agent are taking the respondent through the survey?
I think it's a question that we have to ask ourselves, that how much of power we have to give to AI. Because what we are seeing is, starting from the research projects where we are making the questionnaires and we are programming the questionnaires, implementing AI agents, then we are using AI for open-end coding, and then we are using AI for translations. Of course, when we are giving the power to AI to give us the results, it is very important that we don't only rely on AI to provide us everything. I think we researchers we have been doing this research or we have been doing this work from long time. I think we can use AI to get the initial results from it, but I think proofreading it and like improving the models will give us more information. So I think AI is good for efficiencies and automations, but I think human intervention and human involvement would make it more stronger.
All right. Thank you very
Absolutely.
much. Oh, sorry. Do you want to add something?
Yeah, thank you. I would like to add to what Tarun said. So we did another research which was specifically for AI avatars. There we realized that, as Tarun said, that there is a limited power that we need to give to AI. We need to control on that. We as researchers, we need to experience and design the surveys and the programming in such a way so that we give the best experience to the respondents. In the AI avatar study, we realized and we noticed that female avatars were preferred more than the male avatars. So there were biases, but then we have to balance them and we have to see how we need to give the best experience forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.